Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to City Skylines. Let me take a moment here just to double check. It's kind of hard to tell with the night in the background, but I didn't check my camera here. Got to make sure that my corners are cropped. If you go back and look at some old videos, sometimes you can see a little artifact up here where this camera corner cuts off. That's the top of my green screen. Got to be professional, man. Yeah, so adjust this a little bit. The music might be a little loud. I'm trying to find the good balance between. Let's actually turn. Let's leave that about there. Let's turn the music down here. I want something you can hear that doesn't drown out my voice, but also that's not too loud. So you'll have to let me know how that sounds later, or I'll go back and check it on the stream recording in post. Let's get aligned here. There we are. There's north to south. Last time, ooh, we have some crime over here. Crime rate is very high in this small park. We haven't put any of our regular utilities up here, like police. Look at that, no coverage. I think this might be a good opportunity for some more major headquarters. So let's take this top section. We're going to redo this area over here for the trucks. So let's put it up here. But let's put in the police department. Put in a police headquarters. We'll put in a fire headquarters. Maybe even a hospital, honestly. Yeah, there's another hospital down here on the other side of the river, but honestly, we'll put a hospital in here too. Yeah, that was not zoned for anything otherwise, so I think that'll work for now. So we want to redo this. I think what we want to do is actually use the, what was it called? The DLC, or rather, the mod that absorbs the traffic. Cargo traffic sponge. It's this really weird looking thing, but I think we're going to clear this out and then put it in here. So now when I say clear this out, I am thinking, okay, pause. Let's take the train track out right here. If we could still salvage this, that'd be great. We may have to re-angle it, though. But let's take this out. Is there still a... Yeah, there's still a section under here. Let's adjust that a little bit there. The music is very low now. Can we get something a little bit... Oh well, we'll see. Alright. So let's just take all this out. So let's move this, though. I'm going to use the Move It tool for now. We're going to reuse this cargo area. But if we just left it there, it would get upset. The train's going to despawn. Hey, there we go. There's some music. Let's adjust that there. There we go. Let's take out... Still trying to get that just right. There we go. So, I'm thinking... Okay, let's leave these top 2 rows for right now. Maybe we can adjust to them. All these cars will find their way. What were these buildings again? No, not the Move It tool. Just, in general, what are they? On pause? Pause? That's strange, we can't seem to click on them. Do we need to like go into a menu and back out again? Yeah, there we go. This is the general store, so these were just some commercial buildings that just happen to be attached to that street because of the direction that they were in. Okay. I mean, that can stay if this road stays. Alright, so back to here. Let's move these power lines as well. Let's just go ahead and take them down along the coast. We were kind of avoiding that before. We'll bring that down and around. We'll connect to here. And we'll go ahead and clear these out. That's perfect. Hey, Matt! Happy Canada Day! I did hear about that today. Happy Canada Day. Do anything special? Aside from joining me, which I always appreciate. Let's see if we can figure out the right direction for this thing. Cargo traffic sponge. It's hard to tell which direction it's supposed to go. So let's just plop it down and kind of see how it shakes out. How does that look? Went downtown? Oh, nice. So, these guys are having a fun time. Okay, so this has traffic going up. Traffic's got to go around the entire sponge. They can come back in from here. This is a one-way going down. This would be where you would connect. Just trying to figure out the logic here. I believe that this is where you would want to connect to the train station. But who comes from here? So let's just follow it for a moment. So they come down through here. If they go this way, they come around, they go up, all the way, wiggle, 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 and they come out here. This is going that direction. So I guess this is left open, and then they leave out this way. But would you really need that much? Oh well, I mean, I'll I'll trust what it says that it's supposed to be. So okay, so we moved our facility over here. So let's get an actual move going. See if we can snap it to the street here. And I wonder if it's supposed to be like that. Is it there? Garbage is piled up. Well, you know, we'll see. So do they pull in from here and out from here? Is that going to work the way that we want it to? Or do we move it away I'm thinking we actually move it away. You know, I'm going to tear it up. Yes, and we'll plop down another one. I just don't want it to be broken away from its rails. But this is already kind of a weird one, so let's say, okay, you under here, you come out some more. Yeah, we'll just give it a little extension here. Take that out. And then we will go ahead and put down a new one. Which was somewhere around here, I believe. But we wanted our special one with 2 lanes. Where's that at? Double track. There we go. In and out on that road. So now the train track's right here. We'll go ahead and try to bend it down if we can. Let's use the marquee tool. Let's actually just select trees for a moment and clean this area out because it's gonna be kind of a pain otherwise. Let's just move all the trees over here. Thanks, guys. And now let's select everything. Just grab these here and then move, rotate. Move. That kind of works, and then we can kind of fix them down here. Of course, we ended up with one with a pole over it. Select the node. There we go. Move the node. It's also nighttime, because of course it is. So if the rails are connected, I think we're good. If we could see the metal continuing, then I don't think we've broken anything. Maybe we bring this over to the other side. Yeah, like that. Okay, and then these are connected. Little clipping there, yeah, looks good. So now let's choose our train tracks. I'm leaning in a lot. I'm kind of slouchy. Let's get straightened up here. Let's get at least some decent, what's the word I'm looking for? Not orthopedic. Decent posture. Okay, let's join them first. So let's say you go straight to here. You join it. Oh, come on, really? A little further up. Really? You join like that. Honestly, I think that'll work, but let me just examine all of the metal. So this may not connect the way that I wanted it to. Let's give this a bend. There we go. Metal's all connected there. It's so hard to see. I'm not gonna cheat and make it daytime though. We'll figure this out. Alright, so this one needed to be pulled in just a little bit, but that looks connected now. This little boat bit here. Alright. Fingers crossed on this one. Let's make sure they have power. Let's make sure they have water. Oh good, everything looks fine this time. Last time water looked terrible. Now let's also bring this in such a way that they can come in or out from here. Let's just upgrade this. Usually don't have your windows open at home. Had to open them because it's so hot. Noisy, loud gas cars flooring it. Yeah, that's how it is here. I live downtown right now, and just noise and noise during the summer. Kind of get used to it. Like, I mean, if I think of it as just like a almost peaceful white noise, then it's fine. Okay, this might be a little weird with 6 lanes, but that's just to match. Bring you into there, and you up to there. Okay, let's look at this up close because I anarchied it in, so... Yeah, the only reason we had to do anarchy, I think, is because of this pole here. It's a lot of sewer caps. I don't think that they'll use all these lanes at all. But what we're going to see is a lot of people coming in. Honestly, we should make this 2 lanes up here to allow them to come into this area. Right off the highway. And then if they come in from here, I guess if they come out through here, we can go ahead and let them come out through here. Yeah, all of this could be 2 lanes. But this needs to keep flowing. They need to come in through this inlet right here if they're coming in. Is it 1 lane or 2? I think it's just 1 lane. So we may make this 2 lanes back in here. It's kind of hard to see. You can kind of get down in here. We may make this road right here 2 lanes and then have them merge a little bit further up. So this right here allows them to come back out if they need to, right? Yeah. Gotcha. Alright, so let's unpause for a moment, kind of let them fix themselves because they got a little weird in here. Forestry truck. Okay. Alright, so there's going to be a demand pulling the trucks into here, and we'll start seeing them before too long. It is 12:17 a.m. on a Saturday, so it's going to be a bit before we get the sun as well. Industry's leveling up. We can hear it from here. What does our zoning look like here? A little bit of commercial around the edges. Cool, cool. Alright, so let's watch for trucks to try to come into this area and see what it looks like. May take a moment. In fact, we could do this, and then maybe when one generates, we'll see it appear on the road. But we also want to make sure that the trains do end up looking good. Maybe we should have done it with this view because we could see a lot better. Just gotta make sure the metal's all connected. And so far so good. I think everything is connected. Even underneath. Still nobody routing over here. Here we go. Here's somebody. You are a farm truck. You heading in? There he goes. Alright, so he's going to begin making his way through the little maze. As long as they don't despawn before they get to the end, but I'm pretty sure that this thing was created with the intention of being just long enough that they won't despawn, but it will collect all of the traffic. I should tell them for this intersection that they can just go. That way they just turn in. And I don't want anyone crossing that road. Also, we don't want a traffic light here. Yeah, there we go. So you're going to pull in. I'm going to watch for him to pull out as well. Alright, back onto the road. This is 2 lanes, so they could pass each other if, like, somebody's just down here for no reason. Or the garbage truck. You know, if a garbage truck comes through and they just need to pass everybody that's lining up. I believe this is 2 lane. Yeah, you can see the dashed line. Alright, so where's the truck going to come out at? Where'd he go? Is this him? This is so funny. But this may help us avoid all of the issues that we had down at our first train cargo area. Here he comes. He's making his way back out. Alright. It's the final turn. Where are you headed? Returning to the facility. So he's gonna make a turn out here. No light here either. Okay, so now we'll just need to check back up on this later to see if any traffic builds up in our 2 little intersections here, because this should just be a flowing snake. We may even be able to go through and... Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Why not? We're just going to optimize this as much as possible. Honestly, just click on all of them. I was going to follow the road, but just click on anything that's not 130. For the most part, everything else has been fairly realistic, but I want to optimize this as much as possible. What are these random gun cocking sounds in this song? We'll have to check underneath the overpasses too, just to make sure that we didn't miss something that's been obscured. But we want to get each one of these here. Do they all say 130? Nope, there's a... Well, yeah, I guess we can allow it here too. Sure. Just these roads, though, leading in and out. And I will consider it acceptable because this area is just for this purpose, and we don't have any businesses on the sides of the roads for them to be speeding past. Okay. Don't think I missed one. It doesn't help that this menu on the screen is ginormous. But looks good. So now they should be going a bit faster. The trucks have to slow down quite a bit to make right turns anyway, though, so that might end up being what the bottleneck is, but look at that. Train's coming. Train's going. Perfect. Crime? Why is the crime rate high? We have a police headquarters over here. And I'm pretty sure that was a police car, right? That just drove past? Yeah, okay, it cleared it. Just took it a moment. Let's see what traffic looks like here. Okay, so when they line up to come down through here, they do get stopped a little bit. They pull across. Gotcha. But this should be pretty limited, these middle areas here. So far this is looking good. Let's check on the actual industry area itself. We're level 3. I think we unlocked some things that we haven't placed down just yet, so let's take a look at our farming areas here. Our farming options. Do we do mediums already? I think we did, because we put the squares down there. Let's click on some and actually see. Those are smalls. You know what? Maybe we didn't. We have some room for some mediums on this side of the road, if we want to do a few of those. We're not really specializing. I mean, we're specializing in the fact that it's farming, but we're not really specializing in any particular farming. We're just trying them all out right now. What else do we have? Flour mill, cattle shed, milking parlor, small barn. I do wish that when you click on these it highlighted them, just so we can know what we have in between games. So when we click on it here, we can kind of see them highlighted and we can come back out. So that's a farmer's barracks. Some of them are blue and some are not. You know, let's just add to it then. Let's say, okay, we want flour mills. Let's get a flour mill in here. Right there. On a cattle shed. We have cows down here. We could put a cattle shed in. Right there. And a milking parlor we could do near the cattle shed. It's a little deeper than our roads allow though, so let's put it towards the end. Sure, we'll put it down here. Let's kind of see what these look like. I realized that this one that I put down, I had anarchy on at the time, but I think that it acted appropriately. Yeah, it's just the right size. So how are we doing here? We're not making flour, we just put down the flour mill. What about specialized industry? Warehouse yard. Hey, how's it going? Interesting. I've noticed, you know, just watching TV shows and stuff about New York City, that a lot of them just seem to be like stairways down. So I don't know what they do there. Do they like install the elevators or the powered lifts? Warehouses. Fenced yard for storing goods and products. A warehouse has 3 different operating modes: fill, empty, and balanced. On balanced mode, the warehouse will operate based on the current demand. Let's put down a warehouse or 2, just down here on the end. No, autosave, thank you. Put down a warehouse yard, and oh wow, this is a large warehouse, all right. We could put this on the end. I'm actually okay with this. I don't want it to catch on fire yet, though. Yet. Can we put this out, please? They try to install them so people can get down. When they were first built in the early 1900s, there was now no federal requirement for elevators. So that's why so many aren't. I see. That makes sense. I mean, it's not great, but that makes sense. Alright, come on, put these out. What are these anyway? Ready sliced fruit? How does a fruit slicery catch on fire? Put it out. I want to put my warehouse here, and I don't want the gigantic thing to catch on fire. It'll be like the largest land mass building that we've put down yet. It's burning forever. I'm gonna cheese it. Excuse me. Okay, put out this building and then I'll be good. coming from all the way over there, but I'm glad that we did get these helicopters in here. Oh, come on. How'd that one catch? I guess I could move the burning one. Does that work? It does. Here, you guys just stay together. Yeah, and it's good for them to make the effort, you know. Accessibility is a big deal. Well, what's going on here? Is this because of the fire? It's something that, you know, we have the money, we have the modern technology. We should make it happen for people. Come on, just group the flaming trees together. All over here. There you go. Hey, that kind of worked. One sec. Yeah, and the least I guess someone could do is try to speak eloquently enough that that it can assume what you're saying well enough, but we all know that it only gets the words right like half the time. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put this big warehouse in. We're going to see how this works out. How does that look? Wow. Gigantic. Okay. So if we need any storage, things can be stored here. Whatever is in overabundance from here. That's probably overkill, but yeah, we can tell it animal products probably. I don't know. Flour's already at 8 tons, and we only just put the flour mill in. Yeah, it's just it takes the man hours to actually add them yourself. It's a good gesture though. I know that a lot of popular YouTubers end up having like a team or an editor do that for them. Okay, so this is just a smaller warehouse. So for this, we'll choose flour. And then for this, we'll choose animal products. It's ginormous, but we'll get an idea of exactly like how much gets stored or not. We had another building that I wanted to look at, though. Let's see here. Bakery. Who wouldn't love the delicious smell of a freshly baked freshly baked donuts? Early in the morning, bakery produces tasty Go Nuts donuts and takes care of the curves of your citizens. Curves of your citizens? Does it give them curves? The bakery requires animal products, crops, and flour, special goods to produce its tasty pastries. Okay. Yes, I love Krispy Kreme. I have one 2 blocks away from where I currently live, and when I move in a few weeks to a further out part of town, I'm going to miss it very much. But Krispy Kreme is my favorite. A lot of people like the cakier donuts, but I love the hot glaze. Lemonade factory. So let's go ahead and do a lemonade factory. Ooh, wow. Okay, that's huge. Let's put the lemonade factory. Do we want to put it all the way up here? I was going to say let's put the lemonade factory somewhere more accessible to... I kind of do. I kind of want to see what's going to happen if we put it here. Because where else is it going to fit? So there's that. Does that have power? It does have power. This seems to be flowing okay. They do take their time turning in, but it's only backed up to here, and it could theoretically back all the way up through here during certain hours and then process. Maple cream sticks. Ah, Yeah, I'm just an OG original guy. A lot of people get the variety packs, but I tend to get, like, if it was just me eating a bunch on my own, I would just get a dozen original glazed. What's the best is when they're still warm, but if you have them setting at room temperature for a while and they've cooled off, they're still good. You put them in the microwave for 7 seconds. Exactly 7 seconds. And I just remember 7 seconds and then you're in heaven. 7 in heaven. Warms it up just perfectly. So far, this isn't looking half bad. So technically they could pull out of the lemonade factory. Oh, they need glass. So they're not making any until they get glass. What makes glass? Is that in the ore district? Let's check. Cream sticks also go good with milk. Yeah. I used to have this this one like mom and pop ice cream place near where I lived in middle school, and they had like the best dipped ice cream, and you could get like a caramel glazed dip or a chocolate dip. What was it called? I think dip was in the name. So we're producing glass, it just has to get shipped over there. And we had 0 output for a while. Let's look at glass manufacturer here. Oh yeah, I'll tell you, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. What makes glass? Glass manufacturing plant. I think we already had one down here, if I remember correctly. So it's getting ore. Okay, so maybe a second one of these just out production for our lemonade. I don't know. Let's check the lemonade factory and check traffic coming to and from. Akron, Ohio? Yeah. I've been up through Cleveland before. Wasn't a fan of the traffic through Cleveland. Oh, so we do have some trucks coming in. What is this yellow truck bringing? Or delivering products to Lemonade Factory. So it's got to be delivering glass. It came from the ore district, so that's awesome. Okay, so they're going to make the bottles, and then they're going to use the crops for the lemonade. Let's actually just kind of watch him drop it off and see what happens. Here he comes. Okay, so he's going to drop off. Oh, wow, we got a lot of glass out of that. We got 8 tons of glass from that one truck. So now it's going to produce some lemonade. There it goes. 1 ton of lemonade has been made. So a truck could pull out of here. I don't know if a truck has to arrive or if it just generates a truck, but a truck could pull out of here. It could pull across the street and then go get on the highway and drive out of town, or it could drive right onto the entrance area to our cargo station here. And then it could be shipping lemonade out train after train. That sounds... I didn't even see the public transit when I was there, but I definitely sat in a bunch of traffic coming in and out of town. That's for sure. This side of town is looking pretty nice. We don't have any residential demand yet, but we've been making a bit more money as a result of our new industry up here, so I think we can afford to come in and drop residential taxes down. Let's take them down to 9%. And let's see if that brings some people into town, and if that raises residential demand, which I think it will. Doing work on the interstate in Cleveland that won't be done until 2035. That sounds a lot like Nashville. This city is consistently under construction and has been since I've been able to drive. We have certain interstates that are just known for always being under construction. We have a certain bypass interstate right now that is being upgraded to add a couple of lanes on both sides. That's been much needed. It was a creative project in the first place because they didn't use asphalt; they used concrete for the road, which I guess has gotten in the way of them upgrading it over the years. But now they're just tearing it up and modernizing it, which is much needed. That road's been there for forever. Cone season. Here I feel like it just goes year-round, even though we do have cold winters. Just looking around, deciding what I want to do next, because we're starting to get a little bit of residential demand. It's 8:25 a.m. Do we really go that far into the negative by lowering taxes that much? Or is it a hiccup? I feel like it shouldn't be that bad. It seems to be evening out now. Yeah. This year particularly, we've got a lot of large buildings going up. Lots of cranes. The whole horizon is just cranes. Oop. Just saw a little bit of traffic we might want to take care of. So, Avocado Acres is now level 4, so we have clothing factory, farm maintenance building, a large barn, and a slaughterhouse. Let's actually make some bypass roads over here. Maybe we can utilize a little bit more space. Do we have room here to continue the road over? I think we do. So let's grab the same type of road here. Let's bring it over. Oh yeah, we're good. Let's bring it to here. Let's bring it down. In fact, honestly, let's bring it over. No, I didn't want the bridge. Yeah, I guess that's good. We can have the one square on either side. It's a little weird, but just wanted to utilize a bit more of this space here. Yeah, I think that'll be good. What do you think of cities having more public transport for their specific county? Maybe not inner city buses, but a lot more buses to go into far-flung areas. So, yeah, so from here, we do have a lot of neighboring cities that are within driving distance that are still pretty big cities, and I support it. We've had, I guess it's not really city supported. I'm not exactly sure if it's a company or not, but it's called Megabus. But I think that sprung up out of it not being provided necessarily by the city or by the state. But I do think that, you know, if people travel, that there should be a public transport option. Whether that's within the city, state, wherever it is, I think that, you know, people should have an option that, you know, tax can pay for. Slaughterhouse. Can we fit the slaughterhouse in? Not really. This is kind of compact. I think we have some room over here. Oh, almost. You know what? I bet we can anarchy that in there. How's that look? Yeah, they can drive over behind the slaughterhouse. That's perfect. This turns crops into animal products? Or does it turn... That's interesting. Modern slaughterhouses are hygienic facilities that process slaughtered animals efficiently into various meat products. It's interesting that it says crops to animal products. Or maybe it just uses... Maybe it's just the combination of the assumption that you have to feed the animals, which should be what's going on here. Yeah. So I guess it's just the same thing, only at a larger scale. crops are being converted into animal products. We have large barns, which we could do a row of large barns in some of these little... We don't want to eat up the commercial areas. We could let them drive down to here. No, we don't want anarchy on. Yeah, that looks fine. Tree's a little close to the corner there. City-run buses that go to 3 different counties. I think that it benefits the city. Like, even if the city buses are taking people to and from Murfreesboro, for instance, one of our neighboring cities, I think that it benefits Nashville to have city buses go that far out, because then you're just bringing in more revenue, workers to and from the city. It can't hurt. My goodness, this was probably not the best idea. Maybe I should alternate them to the other side of the road in some cases. There we go. Alternate this to that side. And same here. Turn you around. That might help a little bit. Let's also do a little bit of management with these intersections here. Let's say no crossing the road here. Same here, no crossing the road on this side. Yeah, this is gonna even out, because they don't, half of them don't even need to come through here anymore. Sitting buses to those cities can also help poor people who can't buy gas or who don't own a car. They'll be able to live. Yeah, no, I agree. Totally, 100%. Let's kind of watch this. I probably should have spaced this out a little bit better or planned for these smaller buildings, but they just kind of came up as part of the building process, and I was like, hey, this might be a good idea. It turns out it was not a great idea. TransLink. No, that's definitely true. You gotta have money to earn money. TransLink services 90% of the Metro Vancouver Regional District. So TransLink, is that just the name of the metro? Or is that a different service? Speaking of which, we need to run a bus up here. Or something. Honestly, we could do a commercial train. If we similarly pull off like we did here. The Transit Authority. Yeah, ours is called... I think it was just called MTA, Metro Transit Authority, but how many cities call their police services and their public transport services Metro? Like all of them. Oh my goodness, do the garbage trucks have to... So there's a garbage truck making his way to collect the garbage here. I wonder if I could do a bypass that works just for garbage trucks. I'm gonna try that. This will be an experiment. So it'll be like that. And I might connect it to this other road over here. But first I want to look at the rules for the road, because we can tell it no trucks. There's a connector from Carvel exchange to the rest of Fraser Valley. Different fares than Translink. Yeah, I mean, if there's somebody doing the math on what's needed, I think we can do this as a one-way. Okay, so that's a one-way road. And let's look at the rules here. Clear traffic, disable despawning, vehicle restrictions. So we have vehicle restrictions, no trucks. I'm assuming these are taxis and buses. This is garbage trucks, it's gotta be. And emergency services. Okay, so let's try that. No cars, but we'll allow garbage and emergency services on this road. Just on this stretch is fine, because then they can't go, I mean, sure, between two junctions, so it'll just apply it all the way down to that junction. Perfect. Alright, let's get out of that menu. Let's see if we can connect this intersection here. Let's pause for a moment. Let's take out this corner. No, that's not what I meant to click on. Wanted this guy. So what we're gonna do is connect this up. Oh, that did a weird. It did an upgrade. This needs to be two-way. Then you connect to that intersection. You need to go in that direction. There we go. There's SOS, garbage trucks, taxis, buses, and private cars. Yeah. It makes sense once I was looking at it. I was like, wait, what is this? Because they weren't labeled. But yeah, it made sense. Okay, let's check those rules just to make sure that they're at least going to be down on this end. We'll go ahead and set it here too. Yeah, there we go. So this should let garbage come through. And then I'm going to do something similar here. Let's take another one-way road here. And allow it to bypass the way out. I'll bring it through to that intersection. So let's take this intersection over. I'm anarchying it in because those poles come right up on the sidewalk. That's fine. I mean, it may look weird if people start walking through there, but we'll see. Bring this down through here. Oh no, it's just a little bit off. Let's take that section out. And what I'll do, I will take it straight down like this. A little too far, in a good way. And then connect this. And then pause. And then we'll upgrade these in the right direction. So that's an outlet. Then we can take this little tail end off. The actual correct tool, but not taking out the power line. And just looking at it here, maybe we'll give it just a little bend. Because it will look weird if people are walking. There we go. I'm gonna pull that out just a little bit there. That looks good. We'll unpause. Oh wait, no. We don't want trucks to start coming down through here. So we'll set the rules here. Same rules. Emergency vehicles. That should have done it. All the way down through here. Perfect. Now we'll unpause. So the one garbage truck that's kind of trapped in the labyrinth here, he'll make his way past. But now, garbage trucks and emergency services can make their way around. Ideal. So while we've been working on that, we have been losing some money. Let's take tax back up 1% to 10. So we came down 2%. I wanted to try to overdo it and make people happy. We do have a little bit of residential demand. That may go down. Just kind of looking around here. Huh. Yeah, I guess it's a matter of pace, a matter of taste, or a matter of paste. I can't eat hot stuff anymore. I like hot stuff, but it messes with my stomach. So we may have some other buildings that we unlock as this levels up, and we'll just kind of leave some of this blank and maybe consider expanding. We could go across the interstate here. Just kind of looking at this exit. I don't think that this exit can handle a whole lot of traffic. In fact, here's what we're seeing now. Coming in from two different directions, not merging well. This could be better. Sometimes. Sometimes you'll get, there will be vengeance. Okay, let's see. Let's take out traffic lights. Oh, they're already out. You're good to pull through. You're also good to pull through. It'll be rare that anyone goes this way. So we have some people turning in. There's 2 lanes to right here. So yeah, we did talk about this. Let's go ahead and upgrade this. When you eat Taco Bell. I had Taco Bell the other night. It's like every other time for me, which is still too often. Okay, so they have 2 lanes that they can turn into here. So I think what I want to tell this is that if you want to turn here, I don't really care which lane you use to turn in. Maybe keep it to those 2, but you need to turn into this lane. You guys can merge later. Yeah, you can't go straight, so you might as well just... Is there room for... You know what? I didn't anticipate there being that much traffic here. I mean, traffic, yes, sorry. I didn't anticipate there being that much bunching up here. So here's what we'll try. Will this work? Autosave. It's a very short turn for 6 lanes to all merge together. Will it still fit if we upgrade the road? Anarchy to end. Surprisingly, yes. Kind of. This bit's a little weird. I think it's 2 intersections kind of crammed on top of each other. It's not meant to turn that tightly for what it is. This is fine. But let's see how this... Let's pause for a second. Let's pull this out if we can, just a little bit. So we don't have clipping. There we go. Okay, that's still good. It's kind of angled in there. Unpause. Now let's take a look at our lanes here again. Let's say you turn in there. You can turn in there. You can take that one. You 3 get these 3. These 3 will continue across. This one must continue to there. There we go, so that way we don't have the secondary turn there. So then they kind of combine together here and merge. And then they have 2 lanes, but they're all going to get into 1 lane. Yeah. Sometimes they have 2, sometimes they have 1. Yeah, they're all just going to get into 1 lane. Oh, I just noticed your message about turning the signals off. They keep coming back. Yes. Thanks for pointing that out, because honestly, I miss it half the time when they come back. Just kind of watching it. That looks much better. Then they can figure themselves out back here. Why'd you pull into here if you're just gonna leave? Strange. So this looks clearer now. It's 11:16 a.m. on a Saturday, so it's after rush hour. We had a lot of people coming in, probably coming to work too. I would kind of like to give them a car bridge. I know we have the pedestrian bridge, that's working really well, but I would like to give them maybe a way for cars to come across here, and perhaps right here would be the best place. It's a 6-lane bridge across the river. Yeah, no, I agree, and I think a car bridge would also help us get that up into there. Well, I don't know. Just depends on where we bring it in from, because they could come along here from the interstate as well. Or even come in from the train, because we do have the train connection now. We could actually do something where we connect our existing train on this side over there too, maybe. The train's a little bit harder to bend. How are you guys doing? Not too bad. I thought they were backed up for a second, but they're not too bad. Okay. So yeah, I'm still thinking road right here, so let's see what it looks like if we just extend it out. So if we take it straight out from this intersection, we can adjust it once we're over here, but let's see what that looks like. Not terrible. We will want to bring it up so that ferries make sense coming underneath. And it'll probably just be like a little squiggle here. Or maybe just a straight line. Pause, because that tore out the end of our path here. There we go. Get our path back. Okay, they're still using it. Let's take these nodes here with the Move It tool. Let's grab them both. Let's just kind of eyeball what would look like a decent incline for ships to go under. Probably right there. That might be good. Add in bus lanes that use TMPE to ban private vehicles, garbage, and trucks from them, but allow EMS and taxis. Yeah. I haven't done as much with that. We did a little bit in the beginning of this city, I believe, or was that in the last? That might have even been the last city. So yeah, I agree. These lanes continue over. This added in traffic lights. Let's take those out. Yeah, we'll take a look at buses. So the pedestrian bridge may not be as necessary now. Some people may just prefer to walk over this bridge, but you know, I don't know. We'll see if it starts to actually clog traffic with people crossing the street too. Pedestrian bridge may still be preferred, who knows. Oh, I still need to fix Streamlabs. You must have said associated or something like that. Oh, you said asset. 6-lane road with bus lanes. I have some stuff, but I do need more. So here's 6-lane road with bus lanes. Here's large road with bus tram lanes. So I think this also allows... What does this look like? Let me plop one down here. So this has trams or buses can run on the sides. So that might be an idea. We have the one tram, which was just sort of our initial experiment with trams, and it runs pretty well. Let's look at the line overview. Yeah, it's carrying hundreds of people. But it just goes up and down the main Portis Villa area here. Just this kind of ziggy-zag through the main first part of the city. We haven't really connected anything from there. Our buses haven't been upgraded in a while. Let's see. Just kind of looking at the bus routes. Just a sec. So that's metro. That's bus. Kind of hoping we can see just the bus lines, but everything's so large. Most of them are circling the main Portis Villa area and then bringing them back to the hub, or back to this middle area here. I guess we'd be looking at the same thing. Oh, that's going to cause a crash. So, give me just a moment. This may take just a couple minutes and I'll be right back. So fun fact, if your menus are set so that right up here, can you see my mouse? There we are. Right up here is the exit for the menu that you're in. Just above that is the exit for the actual game window, and there was no confirmation. It was just like, okay, we're closing now. So we may have lost a couple minutes, but that's fine. All we really did was make that bridge across the river. So let's think about buses, right? So we're talking about connecting bus loops. We previously had a few bus loops, and I've always done it so that as long as bus rings touch with a couple of stops nearby to each other, then people can transfer from one bus to another. Would bus be our best option? Or should we just continue everything? Transit station. So, are you referring to the type where you can do like multiple things can stop there, like where the metro and buses and everything pull into the same area. If so, are they built into the mass transit expansion, or are they modded in? Because I think I might have one in my inventory that we can check. Bus is only pulling into a stop. I'll have to check. But is that vanilla in the base game? Yeah, we'll look at the menu and see. The load time on this is deceptively long. Thanks for hanging out while we get that pulled back up. Look at our usual mod errors, object references to objects that don't exist. Again, this is normal. There we go. Oh, no. We didn't load. Yeah, no, we're good. I was gonna say, because that actually was the same camera angle from when I loaded earlier. Okay, so we have to redo this really quick. I would opt to do that off camera, but I think that you guys don't mind too much, right? Let's just anarchy in what we did before. No, that actually worked a little bit better than before, I think. No, it's still clipping there. Pull this back some. There we go. Come out here. Take out the traffic light. Add in the lanes. You have one in Akron. Akron. That has city buses. Yeah, we have a few large. Well, we have over the years had them in different places around town as downtown has evolved, but we have had some pretty major hubs and stations around town. Okay, so you guys are gonna file in there, and that should clear up. I told this one you need to go straight. Okay, so that was fine. Yeah, we lost about an hour. Not an hour of actual time, but an hour of this time here. Yeah, and then our bridge. Is this still... Yeah, that was all fixed. So let's go ahead and take the bridge across one more time. Let's do it the same way. We could probably avoid breaking our pedestrian path by pulling it over a little bit first. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull this out some. Let's take this was it that one? No, it was this one. Take this intersection across and connect it. See how much faster that goes when we don't have to think about it. And then let's just raise it a realistic amount. Right about there, I think. Maybe a little higher, but we don't have boats on the water yet, so... And then let's take out those traffic lights there. Since you're a smaller city, you don't need them. Canton has 3 in the entire city. Yeah, I don't even know what our metro lines look like now. I used to ride the bus all the time when I was in high school. Oh, I want to watch this garbage truck kind of pull in through here. So, I'm assuming he's going to zipper in. He doesn't have a yield. In fact, I almost think that we should do this. We should tell this that they have to yield to anyone coming this direction. And then there he goes. That is working as intended. Perfect. I love it when things come together. Okay. So yeah, anyway, we were looking at buses. And we have a red line that comes up the Applegate district. We never actually made a bus. So we have this green loop right here that just kind of comes up and touches the Sterling district. You have 30 bus lines. Cleveland has 50 with 1 metro and 3 light rail. We have like no, maybe 1 rail here. I don't know anyone who talks about using it. For the most part, everyone uses cars, and we're terrible here about traffic. Like, traffic's all clogged. We had a new law that we were trying to pass to budget for better transportation, but then it was lobbied against by, surprise, surprise, someone who sells cars here in town. So he's going to benefit from more cars on the road, I'm sure. Or at least that's probably his thinking, but he wants to see fewer buses. Huh. Oh, wow. 40 million a year. Yeah, I have no idea what the statistics are for my city, but I should look them up. I can tell you more about this city, Skyline City, than my own right now. I'm just looking at where we might want to connect these buses. This was the spine before, this purple line, where the tram is. It was the spine of the main city, but now we're so stretched out that maybe we don't need to connect to the spine. We just need something that'll kind of like come down through here into this loop, and they could transfer on to the green line if they want. The only reason they ride a bike is if they're under driving age or they got a TUI. Yeah, and my city's so hilly that you don't see a whole lot of bikes. There's just a lot of uphill. We do have a lot of scooters around town, which has been a very divisive thing recently as to whether or not they should be legal. 3.4 million people riding. Yeah, I bet if you look up Nashville, it's got to be... I mean, more than Knoxville, I'm sure, but, like, it could be better. Let's look at a new bus route. Let's say if we want buses to come up through here, they're probably going to take this bridge, right? We probably want them to come up, around, back down, and out, and just make a connection somewhere. But the real question is, should the connection be down here on the purple, or should it just be here to the green area? And I'm kind of thinking the green. So let's say if the bus comes up through here, honestly, they could walk to work from most of these places. So let's just bring it down around this one loop. Let's say you come in here, a couple stops in here, maybe one up here, and then you turn down, right? Oh, guessing the state now, Tennessee. Yeah, this is my comfy look now. I'm a 35-year-old man. I can't wear all the tight stuff anymore. Let's see if this turns down. That might be a good place. Let's see. Right here is kind of near the university. So that might be a good stop. And then if it comes out this way, green has a stop up in here. I'm just wondering if it should turn around in the same place and go back. Like if it would have stopped here, here, and then back out here, but maybe on the other side of the road. And then just kind of make sure that it makes its way back across to here. We have a new red line. We have 2 red lines, so we might want another unique color for this one. Nashville has 10.9 million riding public transport. Thank you for doing the research for me. They had plans for light rail. Yeah. Yeah, that was recently blocked, and that's a shame. I guess it's kind of a pinkish color. Let's make it more pink so it's more distinct from the other lines. Kind of a watermelon color. Let's also take a look at the buses that are running on that line. Yeah, people voted no for it, but the it wasn't like bought one way or the other necessarily, but the campaigns for it, the campaigns for the traffic plan were woefully underfunded, and the ones that were against were lobbied for. They were funded by special interests. There's a lot of deep diving into it at the time. Vehicles on this line. Okay, so let's remove vehicles that are currently on the line, and let's add in. Let's see. What kind do we want? You guys know more about buses than I do. New Flyer, passenger capacity 80, 130, 155. Do we just want some of these large ones? Shuttles 30. Bendy buses. Yeah, we have a few, and we have the one. I don't remember the name of it, but it's probably the one with the largest number. The 155, the Urbino, has like 2 bends in it. There's like a beta bus, or like a test bus. Yeah, let me try that one. So they are going to be coming from all the way down here because we haven't built any other. There's one. Yeah, there he is. The only problem with this model is when your camera gets just a little bit further away, the color changes to white on top. But yeah, they're going to come out, and there's another one. They're going to take the highway up and then start their route. So we'll check back up on them later after they've run around a little bit. Let's kind of look and see what cars look like here. So we have a lot of people kind of coming in now. What do we have here? Postal trucks. Oh, there's so many postal trucks. Also, there's a lot of yielding here for the traffic circle, which is technically the way it's supposed to be, but what are we looking at here? Just in general, it's 1:25 p.m. on a Saturday though, so it shouldn't be this backed up. Let's see, where are you headed? The postal truck has got to be headed back to... It wants to go that way. Let's just check this segment of road. A lot of people want to go back out here and get onto the highway. In fact, the highway is transferring through the town, so we need to actually set the rules to prevent that from happening. That's what happened. That explains a lot. Okay, so we just set the district here, Avocado Acres, and we can set... They don't like bus lanes, but they would love streetcars back. I think a lot of it falls down to the opinions of the loudest people sometimes. Some people are just like, I don't like them because I fell off of one time or something, and then they're the ones that speak up, and then people are like, yeah, there's a problem with those types. Oh, bike lanes. We have a lot of bike lanes here. That's something that they did manage to work in because we already had spacious roads in a lot of places, so bike lanes are pretty abundant around. But again, bike riders, not so much. Okay, let's see. Heavy traffic ban just bans heavy transport, which we don't want. This is an industrial area. Is it Old Town? Only residents and businesses can use the area for motor vehicles. Ban other motor traffic. I don't think that's technically what we want. want more streetcars. At least some people want more streetcars. Oh, wow. We don't find a lot here. Maybe some bones. Okay, so that's all. What was the type that we used for the other part of town? For Pancake Town? With the red circle. It's Old Town, okay. But that makes sense for the quiet parts of town here. Isn't that the same thing we did here? I'm gonna see if it works, because honestly, they should still pull through if they have business here. Okay, so we put Old Town on. Now we shouldn't see as many people getting off and driving through. You guys get out of here. Look at that. Where are you even headed? You just wanted to transfer on the interstate because you're just driving through and back out the other side of the map. Station wagon. Unemployed, driving out of the city. I see you. Let's check some of these tractors. Returning to facility. Driving to track and field. That's all the way over here. The Orsum district. That would be understandable, but honestly, we might just need to make an interstate bypass up here. We already have this pre-built-in section here. We could, I don't know, that's more of an off-ramp. We could take a section of the highway and do a three-way split, and then maybe try to like bring it down to connect to this highway down here to get more in and out here, so that these guys aren't having to like, I don't know, I mean, we have the highway right here though, is the thing. So like, I guess if somebody wanted to come from this part of town down to here, I would expect them to take the bridge. Yeah, that's a little, that's not a highway though. Yeah, that's gonna get a little choked, I bet. Oh, they actually mapped out the old system? I wonder if it was a map made from research for what they like found of the old system, or if it's actually like a copy of the map from back when the old system was in use. Exporting goods. Okay, so you're exporting goods, which means you're leaving town too. So we may still have to give this more time. We may still want to give this more time because it may take until newly spawned in people don't route through here, and these guys had already planned their route, but it's a little disconcerting. So many people are wanting to drive through here. I mean, the good news is it's not really that bad on traffic. They're still kind of going, but I don't want it to stay this way. Yeah, let's see if we can give them some sort of outlet. So the highway stops here and meets here. I mean, technically it comes up to here. This isn't the highway, really. This is just for our loading and unloading of our train cargo areas. This is not seeing a lot of action, is it? I guess it's seeing some. Just kind of thinking of how we might want to upgrade our highways and connect them. It would be great if we could bring something down that would connect to this. This. Not necessarily the Cobra here. That would be quite the chore. We did like a raised interstate above this road that crossed the river here and then connected here. That might actually not be the worst idea ever. But we wouldn't want it to connect to this mess. We'd want it to do something similar to this, except we'd want it maybe to come off here. What do we have for... We've looked at this before, but for three-way intersections, we'd pretty much use this. Plop it right there, like that. Yeah, let's go ahead and insert this. So let's pause. Just kind of getting, like, eyeballing it here. From that highway to that one, okay. So right in this area here, let's put that there. And let's jump over to highway pieces and connect them. Let's do a straight connect and we will even it out later. Well, not later, we'll even it out now. We'll unpause. They're already good to go. Yeah, we get a little bit of an angle on there. That one's barely noticeable. There we go. Okay, so assuming that we bring the highways down here, I'm honestly thinking that we could make this work if we do a raised highway. Where did we talk about? We talked about bringing it across here, which is across the river twice. Is that as necessary? It's really right here. And I want to connect it. Connect it here. Would it be easier to do that and bring it over this area? I think it would, because this is pretty well settled. And we have the train here. And it would be... This is already raised. But I think it might be a cool looking thing to do. This guy, though. He's gotta move. No, we don't want the road. You've gotta move over. You can move, like, just down the road. Oh, come on. What? Nah. I will literally just move you. There you go. So the thing about the highway, though, two-lane highway, one-way, two-way highway. I kind of wish that I had a four-lane, two-way highway that I could bring up over here, because I don't necessarily want to do two raised things up over this area. I mean, alternately, we could do a tunnel, but a big long tunnel also seems unrealistic. Who would have a tunnel from here to here? It would come out here. I mean, we can. Sure, why not? Let's try it. Okay, so if we have... Honestly, I'll just go straight then. So if we want to come out here, to say, where's it going to join up at? It's going to join up with these two. Like, it'll split off from these, so I'm just going to have them start from here, headed towards that glowing dot in the distance there. You're going to have one segment. It's just straight here, turn off snapping. So start here. Actually, don't do that. One, two, three, four, five. We're gonna go down 5. Let's turn snapping back on. And we'll go straight. Now, do we run into anything along the way? We don't. Costs $70,000, which is actually cheaper than I thought it would be. So there we go. And then if we just have the other one here. One, two, three, four, 5. How does that look? We can adjust those. That's a very long tunnel. And those are still underground, so we will connect. Let's go under. One, two, three. No. I guess we'll start on the ground here. Just a second. How do you actually look under to connect that? Page down. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we need to reverse this one. Alright, so this is just going to be a connection for now, and then we can pull off of it in either direction. Kind of a little silly. It's a very long highway to nowhere so far, but come out to here. 1, 2, 3, up, across. Oh, come on. There we go. 1, 2, 3, down, and then connect. And then you come over. Go to turn off snapping. 1, 2, 3, up. Over. 1, 2, 3. Turn snapping back on. Bring you down and connect you. So far, so good. Let's unify these. If we can. Grab the one underground, so we can look under with that. Yeah. And then we can grab this, kind of adjust it. At least want them to be similar. Yeah. That doesn't look too bad. Oh, come on. There we go. Ish. There we go. And then on the other side, okay, so here's where I'm thinking these will connect. I'm gonna pull these back a little bit. Same with this side, pull them back. They come up here. These are going to be, let's actually pause for a moment. These are actually going to be split-offs from this. These are no longer going to be highway pieces. Or if they are, they will be different. Because what I'd like to happen is to have the highway just connect here. So let's go ahead and do a curve, a very short curve to here. also very short. Curve to here. Gonna bring that in a little bit. Let's check these lanes just to make sure. I don't know, we'll watch them in a moment. Okay, so we still need to handle these. So what I'm thinking for this is that we allow an off shoot here to come in and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Maybe we do it from down here. Kind of want it to be, yeah, like that. And then have it come around and up and out. And then this can go down under. Actually, that doesn't need to go under at all. So this can come up. Get it through here. So it doesn't exactly give them the option. I don't like that. I think I want it to join a little earlier. Doesn't exactly give them the option, though, to transfer from one side to the other, but the previous side wasn't even an option before. So I'm still thinking they'll figure it out. This is technically 4 lanes now. Unpause. So under here, stretching that out a little bit might make that look a little bit better. The terrain doesn't look so hot around it, but the slope looks more realistic now. So theoretically, someone could take this cloverleaf and get anywhere they want to go. People are leaving this direction. Nobody's coming in this direction yet. Let's make sure that our directional one-ways are correct. Everything we can see looks right. I'm pretty sure that we put down the tunnel correctly, right? Oh yeah, some people are planning to come this way. They're just coming into town now. So interesting that, like, the AI decides sometimes just to get off and come down here and turn around. So when are we going to see our first people take this exit? There we go. Now let's check on people making their way over this bridge. Bridge. So, Miller Bridge, who's using it? Only people from this area! Some people are getting off here to drive through this side of town to come across the bridge. That might be a separate issue. But I don't see a ton of traffic yet, so I'm okay with it for now. If we start seeing a bunch of traffic backing up through here, that'll be a different story. So this should provide a much needed pass through. So they'll come out here. If they really want to just keep going, they'll stay on. Some are getting off here, that's fine. Two, three. 3 and 1 to 4, 1 off, so that needs to be a 3. I guess that looks normal. I don't know if I would trust that tunnel, but it just comes out over here. And there they are. Okay, so our highways are looking alright. We have trains stopping on both sides. We can maybe pick one more project before we go today. We have some area to fill in here. We have high residential demand. Do we want to build a new neighborhood over here? Well, with Sterling District and Slag Farms are already residential right here. Do we want another residential that close? Maybe. Do we want a new area that kind of matches the farming area over here? We want kind of a rural housing area. Let's kind of like plot this out with our district painter here. So right now, Avocado Acres needs to be this. And the industry is also this, sure. Including all of that. If we want a residential area over here, put it here. Any suggestions for a name of a new residential area? If so, you can put it in the chat. Let's kind of paint it in here. In fact, we'll kind of overlap the water a little bit. We'll have some coastal development, I'm sure. Sterling Park. We already have Sterling District. So it'll stay Sterling Park for right now. And I think we'll pull this off as a major intersection going off to the left, so this needs to move down some. I think right there will be fine. Large avenue with bus lanes. Do we want to mess with bus lanes? Do we want to mess with tram? Probably not for this area, and here's what I'm thinking. Though, we haven't been doing it for, like, any of them lately. This will be, again, kind of like how Slag Farms is the neighborhood near the Ore District. This will be for Avocado Acres. So this will be kind of like where farmers live. They'll be taking their truck to work. So let's see. We will put in nice tree-lined roads, though. I'll bring it straight over from here. I'm gonna anarchy it in and see how that looks up against the park. Moo to you too, sir. I think that looks good. Okay. Sterling Street. A lot of Sterling. So let's start off by getting a road that's going to kind of come up and be a main northern road, and we'll probably have one along the south too. Honestly, we're going to want to do one of our usual roundabout exits here. Let's go ahead and put that in. Yeah, let's see what that looks like first. Do we want to do anything really different? Now would be the time. That's our usual. That's 6 lanes. This is a raised exit option. This might be kind of cool, because we already have a bridge over here, so we can kind of connect it to that. Yeah, let's go ahead and pause time for just a moment. Let's take out some of these, and we can kind of like see if we can fit that in. Take out the ramps here as well. This one, nope. A little long, but I think we can make it work. Right there. Okay, let's take a look at it. May have to make some adjustments. But this might be kind of a cool way to do it. Okay, so these are going to have to be adjusted down. In fact, this could be pulled over. And then we could take this out. We could take this up. This down. It's a little steep, so we'll probably pull those in and out a little bit. Back those up some. And then let's go above ground. Pull these out to a more realistic slope. It's still going to be a little high, but that's better. Then on this side, we're going to do something similar. Except we can probably make these gradually meet each other. So here's what I'm thinking. We take these two. Nope, nope, nope. Use the move it tool. Take you and you. It's going to bring you up like part of the way. You're already raised for the train track. Is that even high enough? Didn't even really look at it before. I mean, it is high enough in that the train's not going to collide with anything really, but we just don't want it to look silly. So then these two can come up even more. And then these two can come down some. And then they can meet. Pull them in close to each other. Pick the right one. There. Give them a slight adjustment. Just a moment here. Notifications. Apologies for the delay. There we go. Alright, so now we have these exits, which for right now, I'm going to take these out. But we do know we can use them if we need to. There we go. So this will be our connection, our main connection into this side of town. Let's unpause. Cars back on the highway. We're good. We're good. Everybody good? Okay. These guys were underneath. They're getting back on. Let's take these lights out on either side. Good, good. Now let's jump back into the type of road. So this was actually a 4-lane, but I'm going to upgrade it to a 6-lane. This over here can stay at 2, or 4 rather, 2 on each side. But let's bring this over. Actually, not too far. Just to right there. Then I want to bring this up. Autosave, thank you. I want to bring this up to here, and then this down to here. So this road is going to circle this farming area here. Avocado acres. Guacamole gardens. So let's give this a slight curve here. I like to make it a little bit more organic when we're in a neighborhood area. The train's not going to be great to live near, so maybe we'll do some commercial up through there. Let's kind of try to bring this up and over some, maybe. Over, down. I'm going to kind of fix that a little bit. That's a little funky looking. Straight curve. Straight curve. Let's do a regular curve. And then just pull that in. There we go. That looks much better. So this road here, we do want it to continue over. Probably curve it up some. Hey Matt, in my city they're trying to bring a B-line into another local city, but the local businesses aren't allowing it, saying it will bring down business by removing the parking stalls for the bus lanes. And they think that it'll, even though it would bring people in from the neighboring city, you would think that that would help business. Curious. So now we have our circle here. We don't necessarily need to do Old Town on this just yet because they shouldn't be driving through here. They'd have to drive through Avocado Acres and it's already got Old Town on. They say the current buses that go there are empty, which is true. Huh. I mean, I think it would just take some knowledge, you know, of the area. Like, having it be available isn't a bad thing, you would think. Let's do another main road through the center here. Let's keep it straight for a good chunk of it. Well, is that straight? That's straight. So it's going to kind of have an affinity for the top part of town here. I think that's fine. Let's keep it straight. Let's actually meet here with an intersection. How's that look? Looks okay. It's in a rich area. Also, most people get off at the shopping mall anyways before businesses up ahead. Yeah, and I guess, I mean, unfortunately on the rich side of town, you're not going to have as many people who need to take the bus or who prefer to take the bus because they have a car. But, I mean, probably should take the bus. Let's extend this over. Connect it like that. Let's get water to this area. All of this, you get water, and you get water. Everyone stays well hydrated. This is a match. As well as we can. Bring that down. I'm not gonna do like a whole spiral, that would be a little weird. Get everything. I think it did. Alright, now how do we want this neighborhood to kind of start out? Because we have kind of a large plot here. Maybe we don't make the whole thing residential. Maybe we save some room for some offices in a bit. Maybe we have some offices down here towards the river. I don't know. The river's some nice waterfront property too. We can make some nice revenue off of having just a one section of high density housing that's not necessarily in line with, you know, where the farmers live. But the farmers are going to live in these little suburbs up in here, so let's make most of them spine off of this, or rib off of this as if it's a spine. That way they have to take the main thoroughfare for a good chunk of traffic. I guess we could do another main road off the center here and kind of bring it down in this direction. I think that might be a good idea. That way we don't have a bunch of little roads coming off of here, but they can kind of come up and turn in, and then we'll have some crossways here. So then on the insides, we'll switch over to 2-lane roads. We'll go ahead and start bringing some in here, like we'll do some curves. Let's come in 2 blocks from the main road. I guess that is about 2 blocks. Let's come in a little bit further. Well, if this guy's 2 dots, it would be about right there. We don't need to space them out this much for most of it. What I'm thinking is that we want to give it just a little bit of space from the main road, and we can put more in later if we want to. Kind of give it this organic look here. That's actually looking kind of nice. I think it'll fill out nicely with houses. There we go, and then we'll leave them. This is 3 blocks, but we'll leave them a couple blocks from the main road there. Maybe we'll put something large here, like a park or something, or we can build more roads in later if we need to. I'm kind of thinking we do the opposite on the other end, so like bring it over like that. In a good way. They don't always, like, I want these intersections to match here in the middle, but they don't have to necessarily be evenly spaced over on the other side. We can do some creative stuff in the middle. There we go, and then we can maybe do something similar down here, but I don't know if I want to connect to this road. All of them. Maybe every other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll do every other connecting. And the others can kind of come almost down. I just want to prevent a whole lot of traffic from building up on this main road down here. So if you want to live in a nice, comfy cul-de-sac here with your farming family, you could find one. There we go. That's kind of a neat shape. Guacamole Gardens. Start off by maybe populating this middle area first with some light, low-density residential. Let's go ahead and paint in, though, the high density here on the... We know that we're going to want high density here on the water. That's just a given for tax revenue. Let's also do some high density commercial down here on this side. That can continue on down to here. I don't want it to go all the way. Yeah, there we go. Commercial will take a while to fill in. But yeah, then we'll do some low density here. Let's go ahead and paint in. Honestly, I don't want houses on the main roads just yet. I think that's where we should put our services for the most part. So we'll start with this. And if we plan this well enough, we can put lower traffic services in the middle on the main roads, and that will help keep our neighborhood from being too tied up with traffic. We've used this in some of our other neighborhoods and it's worked pretty well. So with that taken into account, let's go ahead then and put them all in. They'll spread eventually. Yes. No, those are on the main road. Our demand is going to go way down really quick. I don't know if all these are going to fill in right away, but... Oh no, we didn't want to do that one. So I think you can right-click. Can you right-click? You can right-click. It's so satisfying to, like, gradually fill everything in. It's like an adult coloring book. Alright, so some of these are going to start. Yeah, we can already see some. It's 7:28 p.m. on a Saturday. So it may slow down a bit because we're in the evening. We could paint some commercial in. We didn't get a whole lot of commercial into this area, did we? People need somewhere to go on their lunch break. We can also put them here. I don't know, that may pull more traffic in than I wanted, but maybe that can be what the main strip here is for. Then let's take a look and see how far police stretches. It doesn't really, but let's put in a hub. What else do we have? The prison police helicopter depot, which I don't think we did that yet. That might be a cool thing to do, but I'm sure it's noisy. Police station. We'll do like a kind of a rural looking police station. We'll put it in here. We'll do the rural firehouse. We'll kind of put that down here. Could use some education as well. Let's do the elementary school. We'll put that up here. High school. Wait, which one is this? It's the university. That's a different university. We're not going to use that one. Put in that high school. Put it over here. Electricity will eventually connect. The school's really in the middle of nowhere, though. Some. There we go. This will connect. I have faith. Well, I don't know. Someone's got to move in here. Fine, we'll bridge it. Cheers. Let's let them move in for a moment. It's interesting, some of these have lights and some don't, or at least the lights aren't glowing on the street in the same way for some of them. Maybe it's because of the electricity in the area. No? I don't know. Could just be where houses have moved in or not. Yellow lights. The only yellow lights in town, or at least on this side of town. We have some on the other side of town over there. So how's this working out? People getting on and off pretty well. Where are you headed? You're going to the large barn. So you're determining that it's easier to get off and go through here, so we do need to set up Old Town here. Because if a tractor is coming in from out of town, we want him to come all the way down and get off here. Yeah, Guacamole Gardens, policies, city planning, Old Town. Also, let's look at themes. Haven't really messed with this very much, but we kind of want this to look like, you know, farmers live here, right? So, enable theme management. American Eclectic, European Suburbia. Let's look at, what does European Suburbia look like? Are they changing? Whoa. You guys almost got run over. Oh, that's the police station. I mean, if they end up looking like little cottages or like little basic houses, then that would be kind of what I would want to go for. This is working out pretty well. Did trucks stop getting off? No, trucks are still getting off, but that's going to take a little bit for Old Town to kick in. Let's make sure that our districting looks good. It does look good. So these trucks should dry out pretty soon. Nobody's really driving anywhere from here in town. Oh, we have to clean up all of these traffic lights. We may put some yields in if we start seeing much traffic, but I think we're good for now. Let's take them all out. Let's go down. Look along this strip here too. Yeah, take that out. Every other one down here. 4 becomes 3. What happened to you just then when I clicked away? Surely they didn't come back. They came back! You have to be really careful with this tool. You have to click on the tool and turn it off sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And if you don't do that, then sometimes all the traffic lights that you've turned off just come back. Okay, so these stayed gone. Turn it off. Now let's just look, see if we see any. All this seems good now. That's good. We already looked down through here, right? I'm seeing these street lights, and some of them are catching my eye, and I'm like, is that a traffic light? Yeah, like only some of them came back. Okay. All good. Several people using the highway. Lovely sunset. Check it over our farm. Let's go hang out with the cows for a second. There should be cows here. I wonder if it's because it's after hours, if it closed down and the cows went home. Oh, I hear a pig. Maybe that's just our like ambient audio for this particular type of land. Small animal pasture, not operating. I guess because it's after hours. It's interesting though. They put away the animals when they leave. Hey, here's some. What's up, pig? Ah, he doesn't have any eyes. That's a little frightening. Cool. Well, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Let's not stand in the road. We're still in the road. Yeah, so that was pretty productive. Hey, what's up, Matt? You want to check on transit? Let's see how that, yeah, let's see how the new, ooh, they need workers. Well, good news. We have a lot of new people moving in over here. Yeah, let's check and see how that new bus route is doing. Pink line here. Pink line, 335. It is our second most populous right now. It's 9 p.m. on a Saturday. 4, 31, 59, and 66. I think a lot of people are just taking it from down here up to here, maybe? Because how many people are on this bus now? 6. So not a whole lot of people are taking it across the bridge just yet. Yeah, they're all getting off here. The ones coming in, 4. So it's like they're all just getting on down here and wanted to ride up 2 blocks up here. I mean, but they have the option, right? I think next time we'll look at options for getting the train over here. Oh, come on. Don't burn all the farms down. Especially not at night. We'll look at getting maybe train or subway up here. Subway's down here. We did bring it around. We did this loop here. We could do another offshoot up here. And just kind of have a route that just kind of goes back and forth to here. Which will almost serve the purpose of the bus. So it'll really just be people's preference for which they want to use. But yeah, that's how it's going so far. Where'd they go? I'm looking for one of the pink buses now. They should be coming up and down through here. They under. They bunched up. Yeah, we have 6 buses. Or is that the stops? Let's turn off that view. Now we are a pink bus. Whoa, that is a very steep bridge. Hey, but they're walking it no problem, so I think we're good. And that's how many people got off the bus before it makes its way over to Avocado Acres, so guess they just don't want to ride over here right now. Maybe they're used to walking. I don't know, maybe some people will plan their route differently in the next few days. Epic Bus doesn't stop for any traffic. But yeah, thanks for joining me this evening. Another great Monday. I may rethink the party stream Wednesdays and maybe change it to every other. I'm not sure. I've actually been thinking about getting some Mario Maker 2 in. I did a release stream the other day and that went pretty well, and I think I'd like to start trying some of the challenges, so I think that might be pretty fun. So that might be coming on Wednesday. We'll see. But as always, I'll see you next time. Have a good night.